Biggie, let's see what you think of this picture. My son now got some money for his birthday, and now when I ask him to do something, like I'll text him and say, you need to do such and such, or get to this class, or go get something for your sister when he was home, he'll put up a picture and say, sorry, I'm getting a call, but it's actually him holding a wad of cash up to his ear as if it's a cell phone.
I love it.
That may be
okay.
That may be the most classic photograph he'll ever take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He points at the wad of cash.
Sorry, can't hear you.
Yeah.
You might send me that so I can make it his contact picture.
I will. It's a classic, all right. And when I showed it to Chris Demm,
How did
and
that kid spring from your loins?
I don't know.
I got no idea,
I don't
man.
know.
He is full of riz.
He's got riz.
I love it.
I mean,
crazy.
he could start his own major, his own department at college, just called Awesome.
Yeah,
That's right.
major in it.
You know what they said? Because I'll say, do this or do that. He say, sorry, getting a call, and show me that picture. Chris Demm said, man, you're getting pwned every day.
That is hilarious.
He got you where he wants you.
Just got pwned again.
By your own spawn.
My own spawn pwns me every day.
Playing the game, and you're not playing.
Yes.
You don't even know where the board is.
You don't.
I don't even know where the board is.
Now, he's playing the
He's
game.
played the game. He's won the game. That's exactly right. Now, did these people, some say they got pwned, but nobody seems to regret doing it. A lot of people are saying that flight that many airlines offered from Texas northward to where Chicago or Maine or somewhere to go along with the Eclipse in the path of totality wasn't the best viewing angle of it. You know, it wasn't great for the Eclipse.
I did hear that. Didn't you say that there were, like, on some points of the flight, it would be dark on one side and light on the other?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But the windows in your average airplane, they're not really built for viewing.
Right. You know, and there's no bad seat on the ground. If you're on the path of totality, it's not like a football game. You just look straight up and you got it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, commercial airlines, I mean, they're going to have to fly a flight path. So they're going to have to stay, you know, one side probably light and dark, or the whole plane's in the dark. But a lot of people, the private planes, not even jets, but just private planes, could get up and fly and zigzag and fly within the darkness and the light for a little while. So that was the way to do it.
That's pretty cool.
Because they don't have to file a flight pattern.
I saw a headline this
flight
morning that said cruise ships, you know, if it's passing over water, they're the best because they're more maneuverable. But like you said, you know, cruise ships, they can't just go wherever they want.
Right. And,
No.
You said the other day so many eclipses just go over oceans that we never see unless you're on a cruise ship.
My understanding is that they happen about every 18 months just across the globe.
My daughter was surprised to learn that her next chance, because she was nonplussed by it. They were at school and she was in class. She didn't really see it. And she goes, well, I'll get another chance. And I was like, well, in 20 years. She goes, 20 years? I said, yeah, 20 more years till the next one comes
Should
here.
be old.
Well, in the United States.
It should be. Oh, yeah, in the United States. Yeah, God, she'll be 35.
Oh,
Isn't there one going over here over the southeast in like 2070 something?
Well, 78, I believe, is one, and 44 is the next one in the U.S.
But a total one here over the southeast.
In 2078, I think.
2070 something, yeah.
I'll be there.
Jesus.
save your glasses.
I'll say that's right.
You'll be 106?
107. And I'll be there.
5.
And a half.
107. I just read, now my birthday is tomorrow, and a P1 listener sent me an email saying you're more likely to die on your birthday than any other day of the year. And an article attached to it.
You know what?
Yeah.
You got pwned.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's being pwned.
I don't know. My grandmother died on her birthday.
Did she? Okay.
Yeah.
It was a 7% better chance of dying on your birthday. And she said, the listener sent it yesterday, so she said, I know you've got a birthday this week. You're more likely to die on your birthday.
P1, thanks.
Thanks.
Well, some of that's statistics. I mean, there's 365 days in the year, so you've got to die on a day.
Well, you know, but you're 7% more likely to die on your birthday.
Is there any possible explanation?
Here's the theory.
Celebrating.
The theory is the celebration. Especially men drink more and think they can do more, like on their birthday.
You go out, you play rounds of golf, you drink, you party, you go out at night.
Yes.
It's another reason adults shouldn't celebrate birthdays.
You've said it for years.
True.
Yeah, once you hit 18, maybe 21 now.
Yeah, I did.
Knock it off.
Let me see. I don't have the article in front of me, but that was and that's only a theory. I mean, they've done no real research on it, but they did say you have a 7% higher chance of dying on your birthday than any other day.
It's a small percent.
It is a jump. But it is.
You want to go skydiving on their birthday and doing
maybe they
crazy
do
things.
stuff like that. Yeah, you take more risks on your birthday.
Be.
They also said,
Gotta be.
You know, for older people, surprise parties. and you get the you get the heart. You get the
What's cut off? What's the cutoff for those?
surprise party.
Yeah, 70,
100.
60.
100.
I think they do them at. Well, you can't surprise
Not
a
surprise.
100-year-old.
You can't surprise a 100-year-old.
A birthday's fine. Party, I guess, fine. But
You
You
can't.
surprise
wanna,
party?
You want to spring out of behind the furniture.
But they do it. We've had clips of people scaring old people at surprise parties when they are on.
To death?
Is 75 the cutoff for a surprise?
no, 40.
40 for
Yes.
a surprise. What about 80?
No.
No, you
No.
can't surprise an 80-year-old.
No.
They've seen everything. How do you surprise them with your birthday?
They just walk in like, eh.
Oh, all right, shut up. Go.
Yeah, that's it.
Turn on the TV.
Okay, how about this for age? I just read this too. Who wins in a fight? The average 70-year-old or the average 13-year-old? So you have a 70-year-old man versus a 13-year-old boy. Who's going to win that fight?
I still give it to the 13-year-olds.
I'd say 70. I think, in fact, I think 70 now is you're stronger than they used to be. So I think
The average 70-year-old?
I'm going to give it to the average 70-year-old. Yeah, I think, but I'm not positive.
Teenagers to me are quicker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll come at them harder.
Yeah.
I think the 70-year-old, you're trying to twist too much. Maybe the kid's crafty, gets you on the ground, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the 13-year-old chances are, I mean, you know, that's a seventh grader, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're probably still fairly scrawny.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Male or female.
They're scrawny,
But they've watched a lot of MMA, and that's how people fight now.
well,
You know,
Yeah.
and
They're
Biggie's,
fast.
to Biggie's point, and if you go down, it's over.
they're
Yeah.
fast and they're scrawny. Do I know a 13-year-old? I know a 70-year-old. Just saw him yesterday. Peeped into the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Just got off the phone.
Just got off the phone with him
Yeah.
yesterday. I called him in his house. Okay.
Now, he's broken things
He has. He's had some injuries
in other countries.
in other countries. A 13-year-old versus him, and I'd say he's the average 70-year-old.
Well, how old can you get, Kelly? I mean, you're at the healthiest you've been in your life, probably.
I'd say.
So,
Yeah.
could you go up against a 13-year-old?
Oh, yeah,
Could you go up against an 18-year-old male?
18-year-old male? No chance.
No.
He has no fighting skills. Look at him.
Yeah.
Put him up. Put him up.
He looks like John L. Sullivan.
He's so white.
Let's go.
I'll tell you, I'd give you 13. I think you could take a 13-year-old.
I'll
too.
give you a thrashing.
I do too.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
give
you
you
could
a
get a-
thump on the
yeah,
nose.
But wait a
A
minute.
13-year-old.
But an 18-year-old's going to knock you out and teabag.
What about
you.
15?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I know an 18-year-old, and he's unbelievably soft. I mean, I know one that is. He's 19 now.
Could he take you down?
I think I could beat him. I think I could beat
But
him.
he's
But
quick.
he'd get you to the fighting ring, and then he'd get you before he even
Yeah.
got there.
He'd pwn me.
Yeah,
as
he'd
you said.
pwn you.
He'd pwn me.
Yeah.
I tell you what he did on our beach trip. It's the second year in a row he's done it. On our beach trip.
This is
he
your
was-
boy.
Yeah, he was along. This is my boy. He's 19 now. And I went into the restaurant to pick up some food, and he and his sister were with me, and we were doing takeout. So I come back out with the food, and American Pie is playing on the radio. And I'm like, oh, awesome.
That's
and
my jam.
Turned it up, and he immediately flipped it to some hardcore rap. He goes, oh! He had it playing.
He knew what he was doing.
See, we had it on the radio station, Best of the 60s, 70s Gold, and I was playing it on the way into the restaurant, and he told his sister, watch this, and he played American Pie intentionally, knowing how I love it. And when I came out, and it was on the second year in a row he's done it, and I said, oh, this is great, and I turn it up, and he immediately flips it to the most vile rap you've ever heard. He goes,
Wind up. That's a
What
wind
is
up.
this?
complete
What's
wind up. I go,
playing?
what happened? Who changed that station?
What am I hearing?
Yeah, what am I hearing? And immediately when I got in the car, I was like, oh, I love this song. Listen to this song. He had told his sister exactly what I would say.
That's a Poned.
You need to listen to this song. Yeah, it's a Poned. Exactly. 2 people on those Eclipse flights are speaking out now. One went all the way from Morehead City, North Carolina, to take the flight from Dallas northward during the eclipse.
It wasn't ideal from the aircraft because you could only see out one side, then the pilot had to turn the plane to see the other side. But we were above the clouds.
Above the clouds, but didn't love it. But almost everybody said, I'd probably do it again.
It was excellent. It was like a big family. Everybody on the plane was together, pilots, the flight attendants, somebody even got engaged in the plane. So it was just a true experience.
Yeah, that's what everybody said.
It is one of those things that people are saying, you know, we mentioned it the other day. It's one of the very rare shared common experiences in the country.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree with that.
Hundreds of people got married during the eclipse.
Yeah, there's a big to-do in Arkansas?
Yes. They had a huge...
Multiple, many couples, dozens of couples.
This is one, I think this is one of the couples, the bride, saying how much she enjoyed it.
It was amazing. It was really cool. I've never seen anything like it. Well, we heard about it, and it just sounded like the coolest thing. Not a lot of people get married under an eclipse.
Just do it.
I did see some of the images from that, but the images that I saw, of it looked like 20 or 30 couples, saying their vows to one another. But the sun was out.
Yeah.
So I don't think they did it during totality.
You really should time it for those 4 minutes of totality.
But you want to be looking up
at the time.
I'd
I'd like to be pronounced like right as it starts. Like you would now pronounce your man and wife.
Take off the glasses and kiss the bride.
But
Smooch and look up.
That it's hard though to time it just right.
It is.
You got to get the timing down correctly. I saw a list of people yesterday. This was on the news.
The news
Inside Edition.
Oh.
That had been born during eclipse. Prince William was one. He was born
During an eclipse?
During an eclipse, yeah.
over his
Really?
country.
I don't know about that. See, that they just said born during an
Okay.
eclipse, and there were a couple of actors, and then Prince William, and then they talked to people whose babies had been born a couple of days or yesterday during.
I did see that somebody had a baby on Monday afternoon,
Yeah.
and she named the little girl Soul,
Yeah,
which is Spanish for son. I love it.
exciting
Clever.
to be married or to have the baby during the eclipse. We have audio. We aired this on the day after, but a couple of reporters, notably Stephanie Abrams of ABC News, talking about as the eclipse happened.
How amazing is that? The darkness! And by the way, our temperature has dropped. We're down to 72 degrees. I can even see a blue spot right there. Come on. We've got 4 minutes. The crowd is willing it. Yes! Whoa! We can see it. Just for a minute, just for a second. But I'll take it. I will take it. Look at it. Oh my God. We got it. We got it. Oh my God, Lauren, look up. Oh my gosh, it's just so amazing. It's just so amazing.
Yeah.
It's like when Harry met Sally in the
That's
diner.
exactly what I thought. I thought the same thing.
Yes!
Yes, look at it!
Look at
Yes!
it's happening.
Exactly
They were
my
cheering
thought.
more for clearing skies than they were for the eclipse. I
Yeah,
think.
because there were little clouds at
It's
first.
incredible. Yeah, the clouds cleared away for them to see the eclipse. I always think of Steve Harvey. He has that one line. It's like, white people always looking for some BS on something like that, And then, of course, we had some other reporters getting very emotional during the eclipse.
We've been told people start sobbing, and we may start doing that too. But I'll get my act together, guys, and I'll be back to you. I promise you. Guys, back to Chicago. Sorry about this.
Give him a moment, folks. Give him a
Don't
moment.
bother coming home to Chicago.
Jesus, I know.
Chicago newsmen, keep it together.
Not a hard newsman, are you?
Really?
Why don't you stay there in Little Rock?
Fluffy.
Give you tape to the Little Rock station. That's where you're going to wind up from
Small
now on.
market.
More planes. A United Airlines flight from Houston bound for Seattle on Sunday, this is pre-eclipse, had to divert into Dallas. And according to one person on the plane, the reason was a dog, a support animal, lost control of its bowels and pooped up and down the aisle. And the stench was overwhelming, so they had to ditch in Dallas. It's right after the plane took off.
Support animal. I don't know what that
Support
means.
animal.
again.
Support animal, yes. Took 2 hours to clean the carpets with ground crew. Had to come in and clean the carpets, and it took 2 hours. So they were delayed. They were delayed in Dallas for almost 3 hours after taking off from Houston, going up to Seattle.
It's
And
not a seeing-eye dog.
said, I'm not happy. They call it an emotional support animal. That's what they call it.
Those are the ones that
Get on.
Those are
blurry,
the
yeah.
fake papers.
No, those are the ones that
Emotional
ruin.
support.
Yeah.
Emotional support animal.
Well, although sometimes you do see veterans who have like those
Yes.
PTSD dogs.
yes.
Those are professionally
Yeah, those are
trained
working
animals.
animals.
So this dog.
And they hold their bowels.
Do you
Yes.
do you think the plane can cause a professionally trained animal to lose control of its bowels?
I think you don't know how somebody's going to react or an animal's going to react once
Yep.
pressure changes, things like that. I
Yep.
mean, I
Correct.
can see it.
Plane had to be diverted. Dog had a messy accident in an aisle right outside first class. And
Ooh,
so-
that's why they were put down.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
aim, buddy. Good aim.
If it had happened in the tail, fly on.
We're moving.
nobody
We're
care.
flying, baby.
Nobody care. They said the stench was terrible.
Oh, I can't enjoy my champagne like this.
So they did have to put down in Dallas. That's pretty bad. We've heard about that before, though. People or dogs getting loose and doing just that.
Yeah, it's
you know.
unfortunate.
I know.
But they're not supposed to be loose.
No, they're not. They're supposed
They're
to
not.
be.
They're supposed to be in a crate, right?
Correct.
It may have been right beneath their feet,
Mm-hmm.
Out of the crate for a minute. Yeah, they're not supposed to be out of the crate.
The last woman that did it, remember, she didn't even apologize. She said, "What am I supposed to do?" He needed to make, and she let him out of the crate to do it. And they had to do the same thing. This happened another couple of months ago.
But people always let the little dogs out.
Well, they go on the plane.
I
Exactly.
mean, I don't think the big retrievers have to go in those things, though.
Into the
If they're like seeing eye dogs, don't they get a seat?
do they?
Yeah, I'm not sure where a full size like working dog animal would go.
I don't fly, so I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been on the plane with a dog.
I have, but not with seeing eye dogs.
I can't recall ever being on a plane with a dog, but that's exactly what happened in this case. The other, this is America inside the numbers here. Restaurants open 24 hours, way on the decline. A lot of restaurants that are open 24 hours are now just opening regular hours.
I've seen them.
Yeah,
I've seen them where I've had to, you go to work at 3 in the morning. You guys probably see them too, but I go down the interstate sometimes, and they're closed.
That's
where they
correct.
used to be open, and they are dark in the middle of the night.
Are we talking like
diners?
Mm-hmm.
like individually owned diners or Denny's and IHOPs?
Both. 24-hour eateries, 35% down, now not opening 24 hours, all the way from the mass chains to IHOPs used to be open 24 hours, no longer are.
Yeah.
And like little diners in New York City are closing at 11 o'clock.
I think some of it's staffing.
Is that
Gotta
it?
be.
Yeah.
Some of
Yeah,
it's staffing.
staffing. I don't know if you have quite as many people going out late. I think the pandemic made people adjust.
That was
times.
it. Let's talk about the
It
pandemic.
changed everything.
That's the
And you do see though some of the fast food joints will say, "Hey, we're open late."
Till 1.
yeah.
Like
The
Taco Bell
drive-thru.
and Wendy's.
Yeah,
you know,
they're
they
open.
push their open late stuff.
I'll tell you though, it used to be open till 2 or 3. Like Wendy's, I remember like the advertisement, we're open till 2 or 3 a.m. on weekends.
Now they say late.
yeah, now it's like 12 or 1.
Right.
But I also think a lot of it is just staffing. They
course.
can't get people in there.
Probably is.
Can't get people during business hours.
During lunchtime.
All these guys are saying, the owners of the restaurants are saying it's all about the pandemic. And one guy, he owns a place called Pete's Kitchen, which is a Greek diner in Denver that was open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, beginning in 1988. But within the last 6 months has started closing at 11 o'clock. And the guy who owns it said, we didn't have a key. we had to have a key.
I'm sure he's devastated.
He said we had to have a key made because now we don't open all the time. We were open 24/7. They didn't have one.
Gotta
Period.
put locks on the door.
Exactly. Philip, you're talking about dogs on planes. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I've seen dogs on planes of all sizes. I've never seen them in a crate. I've been flying a lot lately for business conferences and things like that. The little dogs, typically like Chihuahuas and things like that, they got to be really chill and they sit on people's laps. But there was a guy with a German Shepherd that he told me he bought the seat for the dogs. He didn't have to worry about it. The dog sat in the seat next to him.
Wow.
Well, I respect that.
I do too. I'd like
Yeah.
to see that.
But you can't. What do you do with takeoff and landing?
Yeah, you got to buckle
with
in.
a shepherd.
You're supposed to buckle in, isn't he? The dog.
Well, he didn't. He sat there, and he was a military, post-military animal, so he was used to being in those situations, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Because otherwise, now if they had trouble like turbulence, the dogs can go flying. You know.
Exactly.
But it's just the thought. I mean, if I have to land halfway through my flight because a dog pooped in the middle, I would be so
livid. That's what happened
Now,
in
if
this
it's a
case.
human, it's one thing. But
Yeah.
for some reason,
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
that would make me so angry.
Thank you, Philip. Appreciate the phone call. But then sometimes humans will do their business in the aisle too.
Yeah, we've heard those
And
stories.
sometimes the humans have to make.
Yep. Have to, and somebody's in the bathroom, they just make.